Hello. Yeah, week 4, and apparently they're extending it for another 3 weeks, which, in my opinion, sucks. Suck balls. But obviously it needs to be done. Doesn't mean it doesn't suck. Like, genuinely, it fucking sucks. But I'm gonna give you like a rundown. I know we've done like 2, 3 weeks of this, of me doing a recap, but I'm gonna give you a recap of what it was like before we got into lockdown and that, and what life in quarantine has been like for me. And so let's start at the beginning. So we kind of heard about the virus back in March, and it's one of those things where you're like, oh, it's not gonna be that bad, it'll blow over. Boy, were we wrong. Um, it became more and more apparent that if you went out, you had to wear gloves, you had to wear masks, that sort of shit. So we kind of avoided going out and everything for a couple of weeks and that, and then before lockdown was put into place, obviously, we were still kind of worried about the fact, and we didn't know what to really think about the whole process because it was like, it'll be okay, it won't be that bad, it'll be this, it'll be that, da 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 da. And then we kind of got, I think everyone got kicked up the arse mainly when lockdown was put into place. And obviously the rules are essential. Only go out if you're a key worker. Only go out if, like, it's for essential needs and shit like that. And then people started to abuse it, obviously, because then they started saying you can go out and have walks and that. At this time, obviously, I'm literally like, because obviously one of the things is, if you've got a predisposed illness or are risky enough on the spectrum to have an illness that if you contract COVID, it would be worse off for you. So everyone in this house, obviously, we all were like, we gotta stay in. And we have to stay for 12 weeks. We're on week 5 now. So we've got another what? I'm not good at maths. I'm really not good at maths. No, 7 weeks. Yeah, I'm really, as you can tell, I'm shite at maths. Anyway, during this thing, we got told, like, oh yeah, because you're on the high end of the risk, you got to stay for 12 weeks. Now, for the first 2 weeks, I'll tell you what, it was fucking hell. It was hell. Mainly because I'm literally watching the same shit over and over again. I'm doing the same shit, doing the same thing. I'm waking up, going to bed at 3 o'clock in the morning, getting up at 12 or 10. I was getting up at 10, I was getting up really early for nothing. And then obviously, I already knew this by this point. I knew that Disney Plus was going to come into play, and I knew that would be going to be a big help. And it felt like an eternity for that to come in. And I'll tell you what, it's been a big help for everyone that I know of, because I've been giving my account to a few people, and I've given it to Nathan, obviously, because Nathan being home, my brother, and it's been stressful. But when that came into play, we was all a bit like, kind of a weight thrown off our shoulders. And we were like, oh, okay, cool. We'll have some relief. Yeah. Relief wasn't that imminent. It helped, no doubt. But it didn't help with the fact of what was going on outside the house. Outside the house, my nan was still in hospital. She had been in she was in hospital for like 5 weeks, came home for 2 days, really breathless and wasn't breathing well, and then she went back in for another, I want to say another 3-4 weeks, and then disaster kind of struck. While we were in lockdown, my nan was in the hospital. She only got worse. they put her, while she was in there, they put her ward on lockdown. My nan died of COVID-19. Now, say that alone fucking sucks, I'm not gonna lie. My backstory to me and my nan, like, obviously, my nan used to live in Orpington many, many years ago, and then she got herself into debt. And then she was like, alright, she had a house, sold the house, moved over to Beckenham where we are, and then she was living in a flat. And then 5 years ago, what happened was she and my aunt were living in a flat and we got infested with mold, and that's what kind of deteriorated her health a lot. And at the time, me and my mum and my dad sat us down and they were like, right, we've got to make an important decision. You got to decide, and this is when my younger brother was living and he no longer isn't. It was like, you got to make a decision whether you want your nan to live with us or she stay in the conditions she's in. Now, at the time, obviously, we said, fuck it. If it helps that nana, it helps that nana. Now, Nana, I don't know if you're listening because you scared the crap out of me last night. I'll get onto that. Moving my nan and my aunt into this house was one of the worst decisions we made. Mainly because, like, as much as I loved her and as much as I will always love her, it just felt like we was kind of prisoners in our own house. We didn't really get privacy to ourselves and we didn't get some family time. And look, you can hate me forever for saying this in the video. I don't give a fuck. I love my nan till the day she died. But she was a stubborn woman, and she very outspoken on some things, and you know it was tricky to get along with her. Like everyone when she died, obviously everyone was outpouring with love and this and that, but they didn't have to spend 365 days of the year with her. Now, they can say family's family, whatever. Like I love her. Like I said, I loved her to pieces. But damn, that one was a man. Fucking pain in my ass. I'm probably gonna get smited from the heavens because I said that. Nah, for real, like, when she moved in 5 years ago, it was, in the beginning it was okay, you know, we all did our separate thing. We kind of roamed around with each other, got used to being each other, obviously. But as the years went on, obviously, it kind of became more and more difficult for them living here, because we was like, we wanted to do things as a family, but when we said family, we meant me, Nath, then John, and my mum and dad, but none of my aunt, they wanted to be involved. I get it was nice, obviously, they were here, whatever, but there were some things we wanted to do, and it was not that we didn't want to include them, it was just that we wanted to have a side thing from them, you know, and, you know, it was, as much as it sucks to say, we kind of, we took for granted the fact that we tried to discontinue her out of some things. But there were some things, obviously, we argued a lot, we said stuff, we called each other, said names to each other and stuff like that. We had arguments over the years, and, you know, nothing's ever going to change it. I said what I said. But yeah, like, she lived with us for 5 years. I'm not going to lie, she was a pain in my ass every single day. But she's still my nan. You know, and if I got a second chance to, like, do something with her, I would. My nan always said she never had favourites. That was the biggest lie, Nana. Yeah, my nan's favourite was Nath. My nan's favourite was Nath. Always was, always will be. Yeah, like, me and my nan were close. We were close, because we connected on some things that most people didn't take an interest in. Like, one of the things that she enjoyed was rugby. I got into rugby in 2013 or 2014, I want to say. maybe even after that. I don't remember. But it was when one of the First Nations, one of the first Six Nations was on, and we was just still at school. And my nan being from, because she's not initially from here, from England, she was from New Zealand, so she was a Kiwi. She'd always root on the All Blacks. So whenever England and the All Blacks would go at it, she's like, oh, come on the All Blacks, and ugh, I want to win. We never did. But we did, but I say we never did until last year when we had the World Cup on, Rugby World Cup. England versus New Zealand in the fucking semi-finals. We whooped those All Blacks ass. What sucks is that even last year she was in hospital when it happened. So I'm giving her updates on that, what's going on, and yeah, it was difficult mainly because like I wanted her here so we could watch it together and say yes we've won, or no we've lost. But it was difficult. We did get to spend some moments. I really, not the World Cup just gone, the World Cup before. I think it was 2015. I got to see like a different side to my nan per se. It was it was very different. I don't usually, my nan. She wasn't one for emotion at times. She would never really get giddy about stuff. She'd never really like show pure emotion in things. But there was one tournament, the Rugby World Cup 2015. I swear upon it. I swear it was 2015. It was Australia versus the All Blacks, New Zealand in the final, and they wiped the floor with Australia. And it's the first time I've seen my nan get all giddy like a little girl because the All Blacks won. And I remember it was such a special moment because we had my aunt here with my cousins here. My aunt was obviously rooting because I've got family out in Australia and New Zealand. Or had. I don't know if I got any more because some of them may have passed. But my aunt was rooting for Australia, and because the All Blacks were winning, it got my aunt's nerves. And that's quite funny that my nan got one over on her daughters, per se. I found it hysterical, it was funny, and just like I loved it. Over the years, obviously, like as I say, me and my nan argued about stuff. We argue about petty things or big things. It didn't matter. We kind of just like tit for tat sort of things on that sort of thing. But I still like would take interest in what she would say and what advice she'd want to give me and stuff like that, because as old as she was and as annoying as she may have been, she was my nan. She gave me great insight in some things, and some of them I was a bit like, maybe you don't know about much of that, Nana. When it came to dating advice, that was one that she didn't know much about. Because trying to date when you're in a mood with a disability, not so easy. Everyone thinks it is, it's really not. But, yeah, anyway. Fast forward to, I think, 2 weeks before her birthday this year. I want to say. Yeah, so she was only in there for a numerous amount of weeks. Because she couldn't breathe. I think what she'd done is she was coughing so much she cracked a rib, if I remember it. Yeah, she was coughing so much she cracked a rib, and I think this was before she went in. After she went in. Sorry. She always refused to go to the hospital because she was always like, oh, it will go. She didn't want to go in. Truthfully, my mum was very terrified of death, as we all should be. But she didn't like the fact of going into hospital and then not coming home. Understandably so, no. Anyway, she was in there for quite a few weeks, and then obviously came back as she cracked her rib when she was coughing. Then she couldn't. There was an a lot of time, and there was a lot of time that she was in there that we kept messaging back and forth, messaging back and forth. And I'm just like, I want you home. I really want you home. I miss you. I miss you. Miss you. And then what sucked is that she came. I believe she came home on the 16th of March. Yeah, she came home on the 16th of March, and then 2 days later, she was back in hospital. When she came home the first time, in all the 24 years I've known my nan, she never looked as frail as she did when she came home that day. And I've only ever seen my nan cry twice. Once was when we gave her an iPad for her 80th, and it was just like, it was a stupid thing. Like, my nan, she loved crosswords and she loved puzzles, so obviously we bought her an iPad so she could do puzzles on her iPad. And then the second time I was, obviously me gave her a gift, she cried. The second time I ever saw her cry was when she got out of that fucking cab. Well, not really a cab, but an ambulance service thing that got to bring her home. She came through them doors, latched onto me and started crying. And I'm like, what? This is the woman that I've known in 24 years not to show any, like, real shed of emotion. Like, it's not even in a horrible way. It's just that I don't think she really wanted to show that side of her. She was always laughing, she was always joking, anger at times when she needed to. But she would never really cry. And then the day that she walked in, that's done to me start crying. I'm like, yeah, you ain't got much longer left. That was the day that I kind of accepted in my brain. I'm like, alright, no matter what, we got to treasure what time we got with you. Next day, sitting downstairs, she's really can't breathe. So we're like, no, go upstairs. Lay upstairs. She laid upstairs, and then it was on a Saturday. The physiotherapist came, and I was sitting there, and I was sitting where I'm sitting now. He calls out to my mom and goes, I'm advising you, I think we need to ring a ambulance. The last words I heard my nan say was, here we go again. Because the ambulance came, blue light came here, whatever. And then they brought her downstairs in like this chair thing, and then she looked at me and went, here we go again. Like jokingly, and I'm like, yeah, we'll see you soon, don't worry. That, I believe, was on the 18th of March. That was the last time I saw my nan. It was the last time I spoke to her. I mean, like, I text her nearly every day, obviously, asking how she was, asking what she was eating, if she needs some more potato for me, jacket potato, whatever it was. Saying I really miss her, saying I love her, whatever. And yeah, she had her birthday in there, which sucked because we couldn't celebrate it with her. And then, obviously, during all this, lockdown gets put into place. We're like, shit. We can't even go see her. Like, we knew she was, like, on death's door. Because we've been getting phone calls from the hospital saying she's not well, she's this, she's going downhill, blood pressure's this, her blood pressure's that. And then her ward got put on lockdown, obviously, because someone had contracted coronavirus on her ward, and it was in red zone. That sucked. Then we was all like kind of worried when we found out, obviously, because my aunt had been going up to see her and everything, and was like, okay, you can't go to see her anymore because she's on the red zone, and it could just be worse and worse. We waited, we did what we had to do. Same shit every day, ringing up, finding nothing, not really. When we wouldn't hear from her, we'd call the doctors, ask them. Sometimes we get an answer, sometimes we wouldn't. She had a birthday. 6 days later, we get a call about, I want to say about 3:30 in the afternoon, maybe 3 o'clock. I think it was a doctor rang my mum. You got half an hour if you want to come see her. No, this comes the tough bit. Obviously, due to the fucking lockdown and the 12-week parameter, we weren't allowed to go out. We weren't allowed to go up and see her. Not even 25 minutes later, we got a phone call saying my nan died. It was like a punch to the gut because I didn't get to say goodbye properly. But I knew it was coming. I accepted it the day that she came home, the second time, and when Mum told me, I was like, okay, yeah, okay. Hit me like a ton of bricks, obviously. Told a couple of people, but I didn't plaster it. I'll tell no one about it. I told 2 people, I think. Told 2 people because we didn't really want it to be public information for a little while. And then, yeah, we kind of come to terms with the fact of it. And then this lockdown shit is just, it sucks because I've lost one of the most important people ever to me. Never even got a really chance to say goodbye. And this is probably the worst thing that's killing me, is that obviously we found out that she died from Covid-19 pneumonia. And because it's Covid-19 pneumonia, that's one of the things we had to wait back for. It was either just the pneumonia or the Covid-19 pneumonia. When it came back as Covid-19 pneumonia, we was like, fuck. Because technically that means that if and when the funeral happens, obviously, only imminent family like my mum, my aunts, my uncle, and their partners can go to the funeral. But because of this stupid fucking rule, we've got to sit 2 feet away from each other. If you cry, you can't have one hold you or nothing. And that's because what she died of fucking Covid-19. Truthfully, it does fucking suck that we're not going to be able to give it a proper send-off. Obviously, we've always said that when this is over, we will do a proper send-off for her. But if anything's like shown me in this whole fucking parameter of the quarantine, and I understand me, so it sucks not to go out and everything. But if you've had to go through what I've had to do, in which was losing a grandparent, and try to deal with it and understand it in the fact of no one's gonna really know how much it fucking sucks unless you're in their shoes. Because truth be told, nothing will ever compare to not being able to say goodbye to one of your family members. All because people won't stop going out and this fucking lockdown shit's on. Pretty much it fucking sucks ass. lockdown sucks, quarantine sucks, but I stay indoors so I can help other people understand that I'm doing the best I can to keep other people safe. Because if I don't, I'm only gonna end up hurting other people. Just like, you know, and I don't want other people to get infected or anything. I don't want people to get fucking sick or die. Because it's a fucking horrible thing to go through. But yeah, that was some shit I need to get off my chest for a long time. Obviously, she died on April 30th. It's now the 20th. No, she died on March 30th, sorry. Now it's April 20th, so been keeping that in for a long time. A very long time. But yeah, as you'll see at the end of the video, we're gonna hopefully send a balloon up to her and my granddad's. One of the traditions we kind of do is we send the balloon up to them to know we're thinking of them. But yeah, this has been me. It's been more of a real video than a what's up sort of thing. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one, wherever it is. Bye.